What's the best video editor for YouTube? Let's find out. Yo, what up YouTube? Crash Wilcox, and I'm excited to bring you this video. It's something that I've been wanting to do for some time, and it never seems like it's the right time. There's always something a little more pressing, or something that seems like, I don't know, more important, I guess. But I'm on the road now, which is why I'm not in the little home studio. This looks a little bit different, but I'm on the road, and I thought, got nothing really keeping me from doing this right now, so now would be a good time. And also, they just came out with a recent update to this software, so again, it seems like a perfect time to sort of jump into this. So I'm by no means a professional video editor. Obviously, if you watch this channel for any amount of time, you know that, but be nice. But I have dabbled in a lot of video editing software, and there's one that I have almost tried to run from, but I just keep coming back to. And, all the other programs that I've used, they just never feel, quite as, enjoyable to use, I guess I would say. So this is not software for professional video editors, I would say. And obviously, if you're a professional video editor, then you're using the software that you use, right? This is for the YouTuber, the vlogger, maybe you're thinking about starting your own, gaming channel, or, whatever it happens to be, small time YouTube channels type things. So, you're not going to probably make a feature film on this, but again, most of us aren't doing that anyways. That's not what I'm doing. That's not my goal. My goal is to make this YouTube channel, and I want to make it as enjoyable and easy of a process as possible. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I think this video editing software is the product to use for that. So, I've used Premiere Pro, Davinci Resolve, Filmora, Movavi, Video Studio, PowerLink, or CyberLink Power Director. I tried to use Avid Media Composer, Magic, the Video Pro X. I've used a lot of them, and the one that I keep coming back to is the one we're going to go to right now. So I'm going to get my mug off this face. We're going to dive into the computer, and we're going to take a look at what I think is the best video editing software for YouTubers, vloggers, those sorts of folks. All right, let's get into it. So the film editor I use, and the one that I recommend for YouTubers, vloggers, gamers, whatever happens to be, is Filmora X. So it used to be Filmora 9, but they recently just rolled out a new update, adding some new features. Changed to Filmora X or Filmora 10, whatever you want to say. But that's what I recommend. So just real quick, looking at it, they do offer a free download. So I recommend that if you, are in the market for a new video editing software, come check that out. Give the free download a try. And then if you like it, you can buy it. So I will just get the negative out of the way first, because much like everything, it's not all perfect. It does have some negatives associated with it. And I would say the first negative here is that it's not free. There are free options out there in the video editing world. This one, as you can see here, for a lifetime, one-time fee, $70. They do have this bundle subscription. Not actually entirely sure of what makes this different. I think maybe if you're paying for the yearly bundle, you will get, whenever they update the new software, you'll just, I guess, get that automatically. I'm not sure. I bought the one-time license fee for Filmora 9. I got to upgrade to Filmora X, Filmora 10, and didn't pay anything. So I'm not entirely sure, but give that a whirl if you want. So that's it. It's not free, and it's not even necessarily the cheapest, but I don't think that it's outlandish either. So that's a negative. The other negative I would say is it is not the most feature-packed. When it comes to like full-fledged, you're going to build a Hollywood film. You're probably not doing that in Filmora X. It's not Premiere Pro, it's not Avid Media Composer and that sort of software. So it's that I would say is a limitation. And then the last one is audio editing inside of Filmora X is not great. They don't offer a lot of options in that. They do have noise reduction. They do have an equalizer, and that's really about it. Fade in, fade out, and that sort of stuff. I think Filmora X did just add in audio ducking. So that's a new feature there, which is nice, but audio is a little bit limiting. So you probably have to, make sure you got a nice microphone, and that should take care of most of that. So that's really about the negatives, in my opinion. So let's open up Filmora X and take a look. So this is not going to be an exhaustive look at all the elements inside Filmora that, all the things that you can do inside of here. This is just a quick look about why I think this is the best option for small YouTubers and vloggers and that sort of stuff. And I think the name of the game here, I think, in my opinion, is simplicity. When you use Premiere Pro, you use Davinci Resolve. Yeah, you can do everything under the sun inside those, but it's got a steep learning curve, in my opinion. Filmora X does not. And I think I may have mentioned this earlier. If not, I've used a lot of other softwares. I've used Premiere. I've used Davinci Resolve. I've even made a video about how to edit a video in Davinci Resolve. I liked it a lot, but it's just not easy to use. You spend a lot of time trying to figure things out or, whatever. And I didn't find that was the case with Filmora. And every time I tried a new software, I would always come back to this. So just taking a look here, this is when you open up Filmora X, this is what you're going to be welcomed with here. So just kind of looking at the different layouts here. So you have your normal timeline down here, all your video tracks, your audio tracks that are separated. You got your scrubber, your little cut tool. And then up here, you got your media tab. This is where you're going to import, your media. This is where it's going to show. A nice feature with this as well, you're able to record your PC screen, which is what I'm using right now. I'm recording it from Filmora X. And, this, if you use this, you don't need something like an OBS, like an additional piece of software. You can just record it straight from Filmora. And what's cool is when you end the recording, it just drops it directly into your media tab here. So you can take it right from recording straight to the timeline and start editing. So it's a nice tool. It kind of cuts out a middleman with OBS. Unless you use OBS for other things, but this is kind of nice. So the media tab, you're going to import just like you would from anything else. You have your audio tabs here, which it does include some free music, some free sound effects that you can use in here. You got your titles, your simple, if you're going to add in, subtitles, lower thirds, all that sort of stuff. Got those right here in the titles tab. So just before I jump on, if you notice, we only have the one preview window right here. So you don't actually have the actual, like Premiere and DaVinci will have your separate preview window. So the way it works in Filmora is if you want to see the way something works, you just double click on it and it'll give you a quick sample of the way that it is going to work and the way it's going to look. And that's that. So it doesn't have the second window, but I haven't found that to be terribly difficult to deal with. You got your transitions here. All the transitions are listed down the side, if you want to use different ones, which is nice, And again, like I said, simplicity is the name of Filmora, in my opinion. So you can just see what it's going to look like, so and it's just a simple drag and drop down to the timeline. You have your effects here, and again, they're just going to show you what they are. So, whereas like in DaVinci Resolve, you can go into the Fusion tab or kind of like build effects and build different things, or you can, there's ways of like layering things, but in my mind, it was difficult from when I used it. It took a lot of I want to make a glitch effect. Watch a YouTube video on how to make a glitch effect. Not so with Filmora. You just grab a glitch, you just grab whatever, and you just drag it onto your video and it does it for you. So again, you're not making a Hollywood video here. You're just making a quick video for YouTube, whatever happens to be, you know, keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what they say. Then you got your elements here. So you can, you know, throw these in there. Again, if you're using like a vlog, whatever happens to be, that just makes it real simple to kind of customize, make the video look your own. And then split screen here. So maybe you're doing an interview, whatever, you can just drag and drop 2 separate video clips without doing a lot of, you know, hassle on your part. It's just built right into it, which is, again, why I like Filmora. It's just simple. One last thing, at least speaking specifically to Davinci Resolve, something I always did that would drive me nuts is you open a new project and you immediately go in and you drop your files, put one on the timeline, and then you remember like, oh crap, this is not at 60 FPS or whatever. And you can't just go in and change that right after you, at least when last time I used Davinci, you couldn't. So you would have to basically open up a new timeline, redo all that work, and it was super frustrating. In here, you can change your project settings at any time. So if you're 3/4 of the way through editing your video and you're like, oh, I've left it at 25 FPS, you can just come in here and change it to whatever you want. And it's that simple. You can change your resolution all the way up to 4K, and then you can customize it if you need to. Change your aspect ratio. They're built in, which is nice. So for me, because I'm very forgetful, I like the fact that I can just adjust this at any time. So I'll just throw in a quick little media clip, I guess. Let's see if we can find something. Let's go here. So you just import a little media clip right here. Boom, you got it. And then you can either click the plus or you can just drag it down to the timeline. And again, it's going to ask you, you know, how you want to keep it, whatever. We'll just keep the project settings there. It doesn't make a big difference. So there you got it. You got your video clip right here with audio. And again, like I said, I like the simplicity of Filmora. So if you want to have these separated, most everything you're going to do is just a right click. So you can right click on it. You can detach your audio, separate those if you want to, bring them back together. Something that I find I use a lot is your crop and zoom feature. So again, this just makes it very simple. There's not a big learning curve here. So you can leave it as it is. You know, you're cropping right here, or you can customize it and crop your video however you want. And then it just makes it simple. Resizing your video, simple. Just dragging, resizing, whatever you want to do. It also has a nice pan and zoom feature. So if you want to do the whole, I don't know what is going on with my mouse right now. Click, fool. You know, you can click on pan and zoom here, and you can, whatever, start here and then end zooming over here, whatever you want to do. And then as you press play, it's just going to slowly pan across. This is obviously a big clip, so it's going very slow, but you get the idea. Pan and zoom, very easy. So like I said, everything's simple. And then if you want to actually mess with the clip, you can double click on it and it'll give you your video, audio, color, and animation features. So you got your normal chroma keys. They've just recently added motion tracking in here, which is nice if you want to mess with that. Stabilization. But it's all just very simple to use. You want to stabilize it? Sure, click stabilize, and it'll start doing it for you. You want to transform it? You can do that here if you want to. Rotate it, do whatever you need to do. So just simple, and again, that's what I like about it. Another thing, everything is very, you can see here a big cut bar, but they do offer keyboard shortcuts. So if you want to use keyboard shortcuts, and the cool thing here as well, you can customize this to make them whatever you want to use. But yeah, so if you want to split your clip, you just split it, move everything around. It's just very easy to use. If you want to add in transitions, like I said, you're just going to be dragging and dropping. It's that simple. There's your transition. So you don't have to, guess what it's going to do. Works very easily. Delete that. If you want to add titles in, you're just going to drag a title down. And then it does give you some nice customization if you double click on it and you click advance. Then it's going to open up your window here so you actually have a little more customization. And I know one of the things obviously you use a lot when you're making like a YouTube video, whatever happens to be, is, drawing in boxes and stuff like that. You need to do that here. It's inside the advanced titles tab. You can just click, drop in a little square, right? Delete out your words. And now you just got a nice little box. If you want to make it, oh, I don't want that. I don't want text fill. I want shape fill. So now you just want to make your little box here to highlight whatever you're doing. So it's easy. And again, we're not making a feature-length film here. We're making a simple YouTube video. And who's got time, to spend learning? You can build a box in Davinci Resolve, but it's not easy like this from what I recall. So again, that's just some of the things that I like here. Again, everything's very easy. It's laid out very well. They have a snapshot tool here. So if you want to just take a quick little picture, it'll drop it in here, and then you can drag that back down to your timeline, whatever you want to do. Really easy. So I'm going to have a follow-up video here where I actually walk through editing a video, how to do that really quickly here in Filmora X. So if you guys want to see that, stick around, and I'll have that coming up here very shortly. But I'm hoping that I'm getting across the idea that Filmora X is easy. And when you're not making, like if you've watched Linus, if you've watched my videos, Bitwit, whoever happens to be, you don't see a lot of complicated shots there, right? It's just a couple pieces of footage, some transitions, some titles being thrown in. Like, you don't need something that's complicated to work with. You just need something that is easy to use, quick and simple to get your product onto YouTube, whatever happens to be. And I think from my experience, Filmora X is the best at that. Last few things, they do also offer hardware acceleration. So it's going to utilize your hardware to the best. And once I export my video, I'll show you that in the next one, how much it utilizes. So you do have hardware acceleration in here. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention, why I love Filmora X for YouTubers, vloggers, and that sort of thing, is the Filmora Effects and the packs that you can use. So Filmora X comes with a lot of built-in transitions and titles and that sort of thing. But for anything else that you want, you don't have to spend a lot of your time creating these. They have a massive library of these already. So I just grab this real quick. If you're a gamer, an Esports Pack. So if you see this little lightning bolt right here, that's a standard library. And then the star is a premium library. So again, this isn't free, and that's one of the negatives. I think for the standard library, it costs like $8 a month to get unlimited, standard library or whatever. And then for the premium library, I think it's more, it's like $20, $30 a month or something. It's quite expensive from what I recall, but I just use a standard library. So I opened up the Esports Pack here. And then this is just kind of a quick little sample, but you can see here, it gives you 11 titles, 11 elements, 4 transitions, and 6 overlays that you can use on your video. And of course, it's buffering. Oh, for the love of God. So you can just get a quick idea of what these are going to look like and that you can use inside your video to sort of customize it to how you want. So that, I think, to me is one of the neatest features. And if you see here, these are some of the ones that I already have downloaded. So you see under film stocks. So like I have, like an effect here for a chalkboard. If you want to get like a little chalkboard effect, you can download these if you're, whatever, making some, I don't know, some little YouTube clip for whatever girl you're into. You can do that here. So this to me is what I like the most about Filmora X. You can customize and make your videos unique to you without actually spending all your time trying to create all of these new I guess ideas and like After Effects and all that sort of stuff. It's all pre-built in. It costs a little bit of money, but in my mind, it's very much worth it. So if you noticed the intro to my video, that was made right here in Filmora X. Super simple. So that's just a quick overview. I'm sure I didn't do it justice, but again, I just want to get across the idea of how simple Filmora X is. So here's the export tab. So you can export in all your, favorite formats here. You can export, like I said before, all the way up into, 4K, H.264. You can change your audio settings, your frame rates. It'll give you, again, GPU accelerated video encoding, which is nice. Or if you want to just upload directly to YouTube, they give you Vimeo options here. So again, not the most feature packed, not free, but it is certainly, in my opinion, the best of both worlds. So stick around. If you found this video useful at all, please take a second to like it, subscribe to the channel, all that, hit the notification bell. Again, I'll have a quick little, maybe, I know I ramble, but 15 to 20 minute sort of create your own video in Filmora X kind of thing. So stick around for that if you're interested. But that's all I got for you guys. God bless.